Hello everyone, Tony here. Welcome to the Monday Club, the globally famous watercolour platform. Hope you're all well, desperate for more fun. Today, by popular request, we have trees. Ooh, trees, what a massive subject. There are so many types and sizes. So I have to narrow it down. I'll just pop this down here. I can let go. So consider some fundamentals: type, season, colours, shape, and others. So the type can be evergreen or deciduous. Deciduous trees are more interesting, I think. Actual species is a complication at this stage. Let's keep it simple. So generic is recommended. These are generic trees. I don't know what they are. They're just trees. Season makes a huge difference. It means leaves or no leaves. This is a more difficult tree to do, so we're concentrating on this. Shape. Within all these categories, any tree can have different shape in. This is important. We all admire a handsome tree. It is usually solitary. It has an observable structure and a random composition. Winter tree is more difficult, as I've said. So for starters, an in-leaf tree is easier. Let it be solitary, so it is a natural shape. Let it have layers of foliage. Look at this one. So you can see inside the structure it has gaps and windows in the leaves, so you can see the sky through. And it has darker interior. Interior of a tree is always dark. It doesn't get much light, so you have a light on the sunlit side, darker on the side in shadow, and then the interior is very dark. Colours. Now this is an important topic, so I'll go on and on about colours. The spring tree has a yellow-green leaf. The summer tree is a strong, full green. Autumn brings brown and russets. We all know this. But which colours should I buy, I hear you say? There are a bewildering number of colours on the market, and all artists have their favourites, but I promise that the more colours you buy, the more confusing it will become. Books and magazines and the media will promote exotic colours and daft brushes because they get paid to make these recommendations. Keep it simple. At the beginning here, on lesson 2, we did good stuff with just 3 colours: red, yellow and blue. Specifically cadmium red, cadmium yellow and French ultramarine. Cadmiums are intense but quite expensive, so try scarlet and Windsor yellow instead. Add a few earth colours: burnt umber, burnt sienna, raw sienna. For very dark patches we can use Payne's grey, which is like a bluey black, and maybe sepia, which is a brown black. This is a good basic palette. 7 or 8 colours, all not expensive. If you like to paint flowers, you may struggle to get intense pinks and violets with this palette, so add, say, rose madder and Windsor violet. Now back to trees. We'll start with a solitary deciduous tree of unknown genus. It is late spring. The leaf colour is a mid-yellow green. I am using Windsor yellow and ultramarine. 2:1 ratio, not too watery. That will give you this. The greens in nature are more muted than is generally portrayed. Don't go garish, tone it down. The trunk is not brown, trunks rarely are. Mix burnt umber and ultramarine, about 4:1. Plan the tree. The one I'm doing, or will do shortly, will have 2 trunks separated about 6 feet up. Only visible with a hint of branches here and there through the layered foliage. The leaves at the front will be in full sun, those inside will be in shade. A massive difference in contrast. Try and develop a loose style with a degree of wet in wet. Don't labour over it. Be decisive and swift. I think us watercolourists have a massive advantage here. Swift execution is easy and hard to beat for results. That sounds a bit like Game of Thrones. Be quirky. Consider oddball trees. Some are falling over. Some have been cut back. Lost branches. Pollarded, diseased and struck by lightning. As for all the different species, oak, poplar, willow, silver birch, cedar, the list is endless. Let's paint a tree. Enough talking. Right, so can't see my palette very well, so I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll start a tree with the leaves first. I think it's easier this way. So I've mixed Windsor yellow and French ultramarine. Use the edge of the brush. The whole thing will be like a big zigzag from top to bottom. Okay. I'm adding a bit of burnt umber for the dark side of the tree. Not too much, dot it here and there. So it's still quite wet. Now I'm going sepia for the trunk. As I said, I'm going for a split tree. With a fairly stout trunk at the bottom. So the branches will rise up inside. Don't overdo it. Just a hint here and there. I just thought of another branch to support this foliage overhanging here. Now inside the tree, as I've said, it's quite dark. Now I'm happy with this tree already, and I can already see any further work. We'll see it deteriorate. But I'm a glutton for punishment, so I'm just darkening this. So add a bit more ultramarine. So all the parts of the tree I would imagine are in shadow. Notice I use the side of the brush a lot. That gives you a pleasing random effect. Excuse me. So that tree already I'm happy with. So they always cast a shadow underneath, so that's a good thing to do. Right, that one's done. Okay, let's do an autumn tree with red and yellow leaves. Beginning to lose its leaves a little, so it's fairly sparse. So as before, fairly random brush strokes, sort of a zigzag look about it. Yellow. Look at this trick. If your paint's dry up, the paint is still there. Now there may still be a hint of green here and there. Probably regret doing that. Trunk. Burnt umber. With a tiny bit of grey added. So we'll do a central trunk this time. Smaller brush. Some fine lines here and there. Put a couple in here while I'm at it. Never mind that tree, this tree is the one. So as before, it's darker on this side. Not much going on inside, so I won't overdo this. I'll have a paler trunk, I think. One pale trunk. And there's a shadow. That's a base for it to sit on. the shadow. And I'm messing here because 15 minutes in and I'm done. Well, you want your money's worth, so. So we're looking right through the tree to the other side there. The tree's getting bigger and bigger. Stop. Stop, Tony. We can't stop. It should be darker, I think, under here. So the branches, as they rise up the tree, they come in and out of view. Don't overdo this. Back to this one. And I left out some colour here. Another dodge. Because there would be a bit of light hitting the trunk there. Okay, well, I could mess with it and ruin it. I think it's okay. So, 2 trees there. Four more in my caddy pad. All quick, clean and clever. So, have a practice. That's key to everything. Lots of practice. Right, I'm done. Hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.